to the rationalinvestor.com's daily brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the rationalinvestor.com's daily brief. This is our public broadcast. We'll do this ahead of the after party where we'll, today being Monday, Chris reminded me that it's Macro Monday, so we'll dig into some bigger picture concepts and ideas as we sort of digest the new trading week. Unfortunately, been under the weather, so I think I got a little delirious there yesterday and went off on penis references, maybe a little bit too much in that public broadcast yesterday. So my apologies, anybody who's watching. That was a bit over the top. But I tell you, one time when I get sick like this, this Akasha gets thrown to the wind, which really isn't that good of an idea. But anyway, did listen to a good portion of the video playback yesterday. It wasn't bad information. I think there was some good stuff that you could glean out of the broadcast, but I did went off on a bit of a tangent with my phallical references yesterday. Sorry about that. Anyway, what can you do? Dashboard's still ill. Can't really trust this information. It's too bad. I would like to make commentary on it, but until Stuart does get in front of this and figure out what the problem is and get it operating correctly again, can't really use the data, which sucks. But anyway. I did actually go through quite a bit of the portfolio, the little micro, the little old lady portfolio yesterday. So anybody who had any ideas or questions about any of these positions, I think we addressed them, and I'll just continue to do this. And also too, I had somebody reach out and actually say, yeah, Brian, I will work with you as an admin assistant and try and get this thing basically spitting out usable information for the site on a regular basis. So super excited about that. That was kind of a nice bonus. Thank you. It was, well, we won't name names. Anyway, you know who you are, who reached out. So hopefully we can move forward on that. It being Monday, always a good idea to be cautious right out of the gate. And what do we have coming up in the week to look forward to? I think we have some key inflation numbers that'll be coming out, I think tomorrow. Core inflation rate, headline inflation rate. Look at the time, 4:30. Have we officially rolled the clocks back? Did we do that daylight savings? Was that today? Yeah, so I think I actually lost an hour while I was in bed yesterday. Oh man. So everything's a little screwy. I don't know whether these times are correct or whether they'll be adjusted. 4:30 is a little bit early. Usually it's like 5:30 that they come out. So I don't know whether that's adjusted for the clock change. And also too, we go through a little window here about 2 or 3 weeks where the Europeans are operating on a slightly different time scale, and they'll change their clocks in like a couple of weeks or something like that. So it's going to be a little bit screwy day trading, all that kind of stuff right now. I was actually a bit bummed, because I am feeling under the weather. I didn't take the trade, but the opening range trade actually produced a half decent little win for the crude oil traders this morning on micro contracts where I try to risk less than this would have been like an $85 risk plus commission. Came out with a $101 win on the day. And I always have the attitude, if you can't trade small, you got no business trading big. So I think it's better as a demonstrator of best practices for you guys to trade these micro contracts and just so show how you can take a very, very small account and actually make half decent money. That's also why I do this fun account. The same sort of logic where if most of the audience that I want to speak to are basically people that don't have a lot of money. They want to try and, maybe take $500 or something they can put, aside on their paycheck over a year or two kind of idea and work it up to some half decent numbers. I mean, that's the whole point of this exercise, right? Try to make a positive difference in this world. Right? So that's why I do these small portfolio demonstrations. And what you should see happen over time is that these small portfolios can actually turn into very large portfolios if you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over. So anyway, point of the matter here is I'm doing the micro contracts here for Top Step, and I'm about halfway to the objective. But I did leave a nice little profit on the table today. A little disappointed in myself, but what the hell? I'm sick. I don't think it's a good idea to force yourself to do anything when you're sick. Just try and get better. PMA for the win. And don't make so many penis references. Poor old Liz and Jimmy. They're like, who is this idiot? Jesus, he knows how to trade. I think I can make some money learning from this guy, but he sure has got a colorful mouth. Broader market, being Monday, usually you try and approach Mondays as kind of like, we're going to let this thing open, let it breathe a little bit. And you can see we didn't even really have any econs here first thing this morning. And if anything, sorry. The whole market is waiting for the big inflation numbers coming out tomorrow. My hunch is actually probably these inflation numbers are going to come in relatively benign. But at the same time, too, not so much to the point where they can actually justify cutting interest rates. I think it's just going to be basically the entire uh, year is basically no change. And of course, they've got everybody in the market on edge the whole year, hoping that they cut rates, but I don't think they will. Uh, so a bit of a pause here. I've often suggested that you ought to look over at Japan. Japan works as a pretty good sort of like leading indicator for the day, and you can see that Japan kind of on its knees here today. So I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. market is relatively weak. I mean, not fall. Well, I mean, I don't know how big is going to be. What I did notice is that and I never know whether I get these darn things right. Sensex, uh, yeah, I can't remember where the hell this damn thing is. Is this the Indian stock market or is this another Asian stock market? I can't remember. Maybe Singapore. Anyway, you can see that it took a bit of a punch in the nose here today. Bombay, so that's India. I will say I have been noticing India's been booming quite a bit recently. Very, very strong market. Having said that, be careful. Indian capitalism is a bit of a challenge. So, but anyway, we won't really go down that rabbit hole. But so India, kind of weak here today. Australia, weak. You can kind of see a theme out of Asia. Interestingly enough, China is trying to, I guess, stabilize. They're having their sort of National Congress stuff, and it really has just turned into suck Xi Jinping's you know what. I won't say it. But man, it's just turned into a cult. And that Peter Zahn guy, he totally nailed it, right? It is literally a cult of that guy now. You got a billion people that are all like, and it's bizarre some of the stuff they do. Like people will like literally worship footprints of his that if they visited an area, they'll literally they'll cast the footprint in concrete and hang it on their walls, and it becomes a shrine. It's remarkable to see them in action. Anyway, point of the matter here is China's they're having their Congress, and they're touting these crazy ass growth objectives. But frankly speaking, I don't think that the China story was the story about them borrowing money endlessly, and as long as interest rates kept falling, then they would just keep inflating the debt bubble. Interest rate cycles turn every 40 years. You better learn that. If you don't understand that, get your butt into TRI. That's probably something that we'll talk about in the after party macro Mondays kind of idea. But the Chinese didn't learn from it. And it just goes to show that most of the humans on this planet are actually pretty stupid. I mean, they are pretty damn stupid. And I often sit here and I go, I can't believe the public doesn't see this. But they're just dumb, and they can be all the way up to the leaders of nations. They're just stupid people. They don't learn from the human history. And they always say if you don't learn from human history, you're doomed to repeat it. So they're coming out with grandiose. We're going to grow the economy, 5%, and everybody's going to have a job. And then the data coming out, China's vehicle sales down 20%. It's just like, what? I mean, it's almost incredible how you can, I mean, just absolute insane volatility going on over there. Frankly speaking, I think you just leave that whole area of the world alone. It's going to take a long time for that to settle out. And I've said this repeatedly, and it's probably very politically incorrect, but there was one place I was going to be bullish on for the next 10, 15 years. It's the United States of America, no doubt about it. And you can see what's happening. I mean, hell, I suppose you can make the argument India is booming, but it'll be interesting to see. India and China do have a history of war with each other. Interesting to see whether India on the rise and China on the slip, whether those two butt heads in the not too distant future. Well, anyway, that's just conjecture. So, on balance, not really much news today. Asia kind of taking it on the chin a bit. Interesting, even Europe a bit weaker. So, not really expecting a heck of a lot out of the world equity markets and risk markets today in particular. Suppose we ought to finish off with crypto here for this free broadcast. Bitcoin hits new high. UK opening up crypto ETPs. What the fuck's the ETP? Exchange traded products. What the hell is that? Anyway, so crypto is continuing its build out. As I went on at length yesterday, I don't think it really makes sense to even think about a top here until at least we get to this eclipse cycle, and really till we get to about a month ahead of the actual halvening event, which you can still see is, how many days is that? I don't know where the hell this damn market's going to go, folks, and I don't think it's in anybody's best interest to start predicting exactly where this is going to go, because the market's just going to embarrass you. It always does. Right, so what the hell is this? Oh, that didn't have that. Let's try that again. Okay, now where to go? There it is. Date. So we'll go boom. Oh, that's what I did. All right. Must be doing something wrong here. There we go. Label. Let's do that white. All right, let's try and do that. There we go. So that's still how many days away? 13 days. I mean, that's 2 weeks. Oh, goodness. Anything. Hell, I mean, I would say the odds of this market topping out at 1.618, that's pretty normal, but oh, goodness. And then yesterday, I made the reference that I do like the idea that we've got these big fat round numbers 25,000, 50,000, 75,000. Seems logical to me that they want to go after that. But the sky's the limit. Maybe these kids that are all calling for $100,000 Bitcoin before happening, maybe that happens. It would be really disappointing if they actually ramp this up, and it turns out that this is your bull market for this particular cycle, and we spend the next maybe 2 or 3 years just consolidating this move. It wouldn't surprise me, folks. We've gone up quite a bit, and I was even sort of musing about this in the show yesterday. I mean, what is value when it comes to Bitcoin? Nobody in the market is talking about what value is, which really bothers me, especially with that, Fink and all those doofuses. Where you would think, as investors and we're the smart money, they would talk about value. Well, they won't talk about value right here because value is like way down here. So this, they always say, what's the cure for high prices? Sadly, the cure for this high prices is high prices. You're probably going to have a lot of people at these levels start cranking out the old mining machines, the old ones, S17s, S15s, S13s. Hey, let's get back into the business of mining Bitcoins. Price is so high, it's worth it. Anyway, so I personally don't like this. And of course, I went on at great length yesterday. I think I said it like 3 or 4 times that this is not healthy. That's not sustainable. But, they always say make hay where the sun shines. And, once again, here's another one that just popped. So, yeah, I think I'll probably wind this up pretty soon. Thanks, Chris. So, what am I going to be spending my day doing? We're trying to figure out how the fuck to sell this thing on DeFi. And it's so funny. Listen, one thing I will say, what you want to say, there is one thing that we can actually say that when you use the expression "this time it's different," this is actually correct, and that is, the amount of money TRIers are making here is absolutely insane. So I love this comment in the lounge this morning. This is just so perfect. And if I was on my game and I was like just, in the zone, good old Mark Douglas, like good old Eddie over here on the site now, this gentleman, I always like to scratch out their names because I don't, it just out of courtesy. I just, they don't need to have their name publicized. But up to 47 free rides. This he's playing the game correctly. Thanks, Brian and the TRI team. This cycle is going to be so much different than prior cycles with a plan in place. And that's the whole point of this exercise, is that if you actually approach the market in a systematical approach, don't take too much risk, try and figure out an algorithm that works 2 out of 3 times roughly, and then just rinse and repeat. And of course, if the market works, pay yourself for your hard-earned efforts. This and my caption here for this, and I think this is absolutely perfect, that this time indeed is going to be different for many people that have joined TRI. Obviously the people that joined about a year or so ago and got their education, got their skirt together, all that, they are just sitting in the absolute perfect position right now. And I see a lot of this around TRI. I think I showed you Josh's tweet there from the other day. I mean, it's incredible how much money TRIers are making right now. And this isn't even out of the ordinary. Like I pop into the lounge this morning and, there's our buddy Eddie banging out doubles. Of course, that guy's gonna be richer than all of us put together by the end of this. If anything, I love this. I'm so glad that we found this. God, I wonder where this poor guy is. Imagine if he had actually been educated at TRI. God, oh man, he would have been so rich by now. But anyway, do you want to trade some shit coins? That's the kind of environment that we're in right now. And as I said, if these darn things pay you, or if they move in your favor, it's probably in your best interest to ring the register a little and pay yourself for your efforts. So that is what I will be. Oh, look at that XLM and Crippler going here. This DERP, holy crap, did it ever take off? Holy moly. This is one of the only cryptocurrencies that I see that actually gaps. I don't see that very often. Anyway, so you can see there's going to be lots for us to do on the site today with big poppers here. And I've got to figure out how the hell I'm going to take some profits on this guy. So that's my dilemma for the day. All right, everybody, have yourselves a great day. Watch out for those CPI numbers tomorrow. Stock market, don't really see a hell of a lot. Same thing, logic in the stock market. Ironically enough, I've got to get in there and sell this thing. It's doubled in price. So, whatever we do in crypto, it's the same thing in the stock market. It's just rinse and repeat. Just do it over and over and over. So watch for the inflation numbers first thing tomorrow morning. I still think we got probably, what is this, another 13 days of this insanity to go. We are kind of running out of room here on the upside, but what the hell, market will do whatever it wants to do. And then once we get into this window here near the end of March, right, the Ides of March, all that crap, then maybe this whole space will calm down heading into my birthday, which would be normal. All right, have yourselves a great day. All the best. Bye for now.